after the initial health care for vertigo is administered, then we have to make sure we don't have another episode based on our brain tricking us. So we want to just delete our brain, not delete the brain, delete the reaction before it starts tricking our brain. The reaction of, oh my God, the reaction like this, oh my God, it's happening again. When actually you just got used to those episodes so much that your brain could actually recreate it by accident. Hear me out. I'm walking down the street. I don't have vertigo. There's nothing triggering me. I had vertigo in the past. Maybe I had it just 3 days ago. There was an episode, okay? Maybe I'm on medication for it already. Why am I having it again? It's not always because your inner ears are continuing to have these problems or whatever it was, or you have a concussion or whatever caused the initial problem. It's not always what's causing it again later on when you get the vertigo again, because at that point your brain might be playing tricks on you to exasperate and make it worse. At least maybe it wouldn't have been so bad if your brain wasn't playing tricks on you. I'm walking down the street, let's say. Let me go back to that. I'm walking down the street, and let's say I'm looking and concentrating too much of the way the ground is on an incline, and I'm about to walk up the block, walk up the street, and I'm looking too much and saying, oh my God, look at the ground. It's like, or look at this building. It's, look at this house, or things have angles, right? And the more I concentrate on the angles, the more I might say, oh my God, it's not flat ground. And it begins to look like, oh man, I'm getting dizzy. I see the ground going up. I have to walk up a street now. Did we ever do that before we had vertigo? Did we ever do that before we ever experienced vertigo for real? Like the real thing? No, we never walked down the street and go, oh my God, look, it's going up, it's going down, it's going sideways, it's going. No, we never did that. We just walked. We were walking and just kind of like in our own zone where we weren't even like concentrating on angles. We were like just thinking, or enjoying the fresh air, or just hearing birds chirp, or the plane go by in the sky. Like our senses were just like, we were just like chilling. We were just like on autopilot walking down that street, not looking at the floor or looking around and going, oh, there's steps, there's a staircase. Oh man, we weren't going like this, oh man, we weren't going like that. No, we were just like this when we walked. We were enjoying, we were taking in, we were just living. So I discovered, since I've had very bad vertigo in the past, and it lasted for a couple months until I got the right medication and different types of things, and I'm not going to get all into that today because I have other videos about my whole story, and it led to something eventually called vestibular migraine, which really keeps you dizzy all the time. You feel like you're floating, and then I had to have medication and change my diet. I'm 100% cured, but I could easily trick my brain by accident right now and concentrate too much and remember what vertigo felt like and started going, things are looking strange. No, don't do that. Just make believe you never had vertigo. Go back to your routine. Go back to walking, but without thinking. As soon as you start getting that feeling of, that block looks strange how it's on an incline, delete. No, don't say that block looks strange while it's on an incline. No, just walk up the block without looking at it and just doing what you normally did, which was probably just looking. Like when I walk, my natural walking movements are just like this. I look at I look at nature, I look at stuff, just whatever's right in front of me in the moment. Of course, I'm looking where I'm going. I'm not going to want to trip on anything, but I'm doing it on autopilot. It's almost like Okay, I'm stepping over a crack on the floor and I'm just walking. And oh, it's a nice bird. It's a basketball net. Cool. Yeah. This is what we're like when we're normal, right? So just continue to make believe you never had vertigo. Stop concentrating so hard on angles so your brain doesn't like create this new episode, because the brains are very powerful and we're actually creating things looking weird or funny or distorted. We're actually creating that a lot of the times, and then we go to our doctor and we say, "Doctor, what's wrong with me? I feel dizzy, I feel vertigo, I feel anxiety, and now the anxiety is making it worse." Yes, it is. Anxiety is also exasperating symptoms of dizziness and vertigo, because of course our brain is already used to this dizzy feeling, and now our brain thinks it's happening again. You ever have another traumatic experience in your life where it could have been anything, did you ever have a traumatic experience? Your brain keeps on repeating it. Sometimes your brain plays tricks on you and you think it's happening again when it's not. I'll give you another example. God forbid, you've witnessed gunshots or something where you've heard someone got shot in front of you. I don't know. Let's say something traumatic happened that had to do with guns. I don't know. And then one day, on a different day, a different month, a different year, you have this post-traumatic stress, of course, now. And then you hear a tire on a car, it blew out and went bow. It sounded like a gunshot, but it wasn't a gunshot. But right away, your brain went to the event of, oh my God, it's a gunshot. And of course, your whole body chemistry changed. You got like a knot in your stomach. You felt nervous. It's PTSD. It's at this point, it's like, and people that been to war have exactly what I'm talking about. And, this is a very common thing, okay? PTSD. So this is similar to, vertigo is a very traumatic thing. And we have PTSD from it after we've been through it, especially long enough. Even one episode is enough to freak you out, and you think you never want it to happen again. It's one of the scariest feelings ever, right? So you're like, this can't be happening again. It's like, and then you realize it was all in your brain. It's like that movie, Howard the Duck. I'm just thinking of the scene where, here's a duck that, there was a whole gravity pull. Something happened in the universe, and he shifted from his duck planet, and all of a sudden he's on planet Earth through a whole thing in the beginning of the movie, an explosion or something that got him there. Because one of these movies where, of course, there's an explanation to make it the movie. And anyway, later in the movie, somewhere in the beginning of the movie, still when it's still very fresh in his mind. Now he's already on the human planet, and he's just sitting in the living room. He's talking to his human friend now, which he met, and all of a sudden he feels like some shaking going on again. He's having like a flashback. What's going on? Is it a gravity pull again? Is something happened? It was a truck going by. He started imagining all the stuff that his chair was being pulled and it's going to go into the next universe. It was a truck going by outside on the street. His chair was shaking a little bit. He felt the vibration inside him, and then he imagined all this shit and his brain played a trick on him. When you get to learn and you're self-aware and you realize your brain is doing it, delete. As soon as it's starting, delete. Here's an example. I'm Howard the Duck. I've been through his traumatic experience. Now I'm in that same living room and I'm feeling the truck go by. Don't just react. First say, oh, wait a minute, it's shaking going on. Is that a truck going by? Delete. Delete. It's a truck going by. Now, where were we? Can you pour me a cup of coffee? I'm fine. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Relax. Delete. Don't let your brain go too far. Don't think too much. Go back to autopilot. Go back to your life. To sum it up, don't be Howard the Duck. You'll be all right.